Welcome back to the channel, guys, and today we are working on the Jeep again and we are fixing a coolant leak. Recently I was at a car show and I would open up the hood and I noticed some coolant in a couple places and I was like, I don't know where this is coming from. After the show, went home. I did start to smell it on my way home, but I only live a couple miles from where it's at, small town, and popped the hood real quick, and it's coming from the steam port hose, which is just this little hose right here. If you can see it, yeah, there we go. But somehow it kind of dropped a little bit from being up higher and rubbed up against the pulley. So just rubbed a tiny little hose and was starting to just kind of spray. So wasn't losing a lot, but so today we're going to take that off, figure out how to reroute it to where that won't happen again, and we'll figure out that part. And yeah, no more coolant spraying all over the inside, or not inside, but underneath the hood of the Jeep. So stay tuned and let's get started. First things first, let's get the air filter out of the way. I have it set up pretty simple to do that. Now we can see a lot more and we're able to reevaluate. So the steam port goes from the edge of the radiator. It could go from here, but I have it tapped into the one that you really can't see. It's right there. It's kind of hard to tell. Trying to point it out. Kind of see the clip right there a little bit. So I do have like a junction in the middle right here that we're going to disconnect and slip apart. Again, I put this swap together 9 years ago, 10 years ago, so it's been a while since I've done all this, and I don't remember all the reasons why I did some of the things I did. But I'm sure with that crossover piece, there's probably a way to move the steam port to the other side of the head. But that means I'd have to buy pieces and go look. Again, I haven't even done that. So we're just gonna pull that little piece off there in the middle and get it separated and drain whatever coolant is still in there down and then pull it off. There's that connection piece I talked about. Nothing really came out, so that means that much is drained out already. Alright, and there's a tiny little hole that I rubbed on that pulley. So you can see kind of where it's just rubbed a little bit and just rubbed right enough to spring a hole. So instead of trying to do that whole transfer little tube thing, which I have over here, I decided just to go ahead and take this thing off that goes in between the two heads. So this is the little piece right there that went in between. So went ahead and take this off. I'll go ahead and just build a hose that goes from this all the way over to the radiator instead of two-piece hose. This will be much better. That way I can route it the way I want to route it. Maybe use a zip tie to help keep it up and out of the way of the belt system. Yep, be much better than what it was. Not sure if everyone's ever seen this trick. Put a piece of paper towel. It helps keep the bolt on just a little tighter. So as you can see how that steam port hose goes, whether you route it around, you can still kind of get in the way of that pulley. I mean, you can go like way around and maybe zip tie it out over this way, or kind of come up. I'm going to try this for now. I'll pay attention to temperatures. If I see something odd, you know, I might reroute it. I still have some hose I can, you know, take it off. You know, not being too bad, just taking this whole crossover tube, and I can look to see if there's any other crossover tubes where it just comes off from this. If there's one that just comes off from here to here, that might be the best, but again, I don't know if there is or not. I haven't looked, so I just don't know. But that is done for now. I'll fire it up. I'll test. I'll make sure. I think the video stopped. Yeah, I'm gonna update it. All right, I got everything done. Button back up. I'll need to refill the radiator and retest, make sure it's not leaking. This hose is slightly larger than what was on it. I think this is a, I don't know what size hose this is, maybe 5/8, or maybe this is a 3/8 and the other hose is just slightly smaller. So I have those clamps down pretty tight. Hopefully they're not going to cause any leaks. If for whatever reason they are causing just the slightest of drippage or something, I'll get a slightly smaller hose, but it's what I have and it's what I had from, you know, other projects. It's just a nice hose, you know, from Russell. You know, sometimes you just use what you got, and that's what I was just trying to use today. But again, if it is causing issues, it's easy enough to swap out for something slightly smaller. So I'll get that all tested and checked out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Let me know what you think. And if you guys know of one that comes off of the passenger side head, let me know about it, because that is something I am interested in about. So thanks for tuning in.